Well, what's up, everybody? Finally getting around to working on this old Nissan truck. She's been sitting for quite a while, but this morning anybody shows up, go ahead and throw me some comments, and I will comment back. I'm going to have to scoot over to YouTube and open that up. Let's see. I can't even see the comments from here. Hold on just a minute. There we are. So this poor old truck has just been sitting and sitting and sitting. There's all the damn sparkulators, and the coils are underneath the intake manifold, but I figure either it's going to get done or it's not. And how hard could it really be? I mean, it looks to me like there's only 2 nuts and 3 bolts holding this manifold on, so I grabbed me a 12mm and a ratchet, and I have a feeling we're going to be able to just swivel this thing out of the way. Prop it up against the inside of the hood here and pull the coils. That's what I'm hoping. I don't know how many hoses are going to have to get disconnected, but it doesn't look like many. There is a stiff bracket on the other side there, and that thing popped right out. It was 1 bolt and then just some rubber. I think once I got that thing out, it'll allow this thing to kind of tilt up. I'm sure there's going to be something snagging me, like there's a little connector right here on the elbow. I'm sure is going to have to come prying off of there. And the pisser is all my good tools are at work, but I do have this old DeWalt set that I used to take on the ice jobs, and it's pretty complete. A little rusty, but it's pretty complete. I think we're going to be able to make something happen. Hello, James. How the hell are you? What are you working on up there in Alaska? And this time of year, is it light or is it dark? Tell me all about it. Now, guys, I know Theo's live right now, and Dave's over there. I'm going to go ahead and send him a link. When Theo goes off the air, I'm sure he'll join. I'll send one to Turner as well. And maybe CP. Let's see. Invite guests to the studio. Copy. Anybody that will come on, just let me know, and I will send you a link. send out some invites. Let's see what happens. See if anybody shows up. If not, what the hell? At least I can talk to myself while I'm doing this. So let's see if I can find. I found nut number 1. Let's see if I can find bolt number 1. I know there are 5 fasteners that hold this manifold. So here's a bolt down on the lower side. Here's a bolt. Okay, I can feel you. If I can feel you, I can get the wrench on you. Right? I think. Let's give her a shot. Yeah, this thing always made me nervous, being that it's a plastic intake manifold. But, again, it just seems like if I don't break down and do this, it ain't never going to get done. And this is too nice a truck to just sit here. I mean, yeah, it's everything a little work truck should be. Gets good mileage. Drives nice. It's got air. Doesn't have heat anymore because of the damn heater core, but one day I'll get in there and replace that. Okay. Let's see what happens. We are on there. In the next couple of months, 24 hours of daylight. Wow. James, I don't remember. I asked you one time, how far north are you? Farthest I've gone in Alaska, well, let's see, we were in Juneau, I think, on the cruise, but the farthest I was up was Kenai, the Kenai Peninsula, Soldotna, and it was never quite light, never quite dark. Really weird. Cold, but not terrible. I mean, it was livable where I was. I could see where some of the other areas would be, pretty treacherous to be in 365 a year, but, the trade-off is that is one of the most beautiful states. I mean, everything is absolutely gorgeous, especially, when they did Juneau right, because you can't get there unless you got a float plane or a boat or on foot, and that ain't happening. You're not crossing that tundra. But I'll tell you, it's like they took a full modern city, carved it out of the forest, put up everything, power lines, internet, cable TV, stores, anything you could ever want. They carved it all out of the forest, and at the outline of the city, they didn't touch a tree within 3 feet of the edge of the city. Everything's perfect at the edges. I mean, absolutely beautiful. That would be, I mean, it would be a gift to live somewhere like that, but I don't know what you would do up there. Not that many people living in that city. Of course, I guess they need somebody to do everything. Here is where I probably should have a flashing light, because these upper bolts are going to be a little trickier to get at. I know that there's one here. And, oh shit, I can feel them. And there again, if I can feel them, I can get a wrench on them. Let's just hope that we're feeling and getting the right bolt. Yeah, here we go. Why am I waiting for the other shoe to drop here, boys? I don't know. I don't know if anyone's even watching besides old James there. Got a process plant. Inspect for damage. Processing. Are you processing textiles? Or are you processing food? I know about organic material. Boy, the work I'm doing now, I'm working on recyclers and chippers and grinders. We have drum chippers, disc chippers, etc. And we have big mills, big recycling mills, which are just immense. Tank treads on them, hydraulic drive. I don't know if you call that hydrostatic or hydraulic, just straight hydraulic. Anyway, a damn tank with a mill on it. But yeah, tell me what you guys are processing up there. And excuse me for just a moment. I'm going to move my car for when the wife gets here. Get all these tools out of the way. Oh, this might be a treat for you guys. Frosty's got to get the garage open. Now, it's a big, terrible mess, but some of you might not have seen the race car and stuff. Look, kitty. Kitty. Come on, yes, you are. Hold on a minute. We got boo-boo. Mommy's got a park. Not really. Well, not yet. But I'm working on it. It's getting there. Sorry, I think I'll move here. I'm on live here. See if I got any comments. Food processing. Okay, I got you. There's got to be a lot of stuff to keep clean in there. How big's your crew? Anyway, they've got a.
It'll take 44 minutes. That's okay.
Yeah, they've got a club that's turkey, roast beef, and bacon.
Turkey provolone, California Club.
What's on it?
Turkey provolone, applewood smoked bacon, fresh avocado.
No, this one's got roast beef also.
There's another club. Okay. Turkey, ham, provolone, applewood smoked bacon, mayo.
No ham.
Why are you peeing on the garage, buddy? You want that one? That one doesn't have roast beef on it.
No, I want the one with roast beef and not with ham. Let's see. We're going to fish around here until we find that last intake nut. And
Bacon ranch?
Hmm?
No. It's a cold salmon, right?
Yeah, it's a cold club.
Turkey provolone, original Italian, just.
Let's see. We're down to the last one. We just have to find it. So it should be on a stud. Oh, there she is, sticking straight out of the back. Guys, I think that's it. Reach in there and just feel for it. I should be able to. Oh, yeah. Giggity giggity. I believe that's it. Let's try it. Vegetable processing. Wow.
Supreme.
What's on it?
Roast beef, turkey, Swiss, applewood smoked bacon, and mayo.
Yes. That are the one I want.
What size do you want? Regular or
giant? On white bread.
White bread. No extras, right? You want bacon? Do you want banana peppers, dill pickle?
Banana peppers and jalapenos on the side. Heavy mayo.
Hang on. Bacon, banana peppers, jalapeno, no lettuce.
Bacon comes on it. Yeah, you don't have to check that.
No, it told me it was already pre-checked.
Okay, good.
So bacon, banana peppers, no pickle, no mustard.
No, don't put the banana peppers because we want to get them on the side. We don't want them on the sandwich.
Mayo, olive oil, red wine, vinegar, salt.
Yeah, we want those on there.
No tomatoes.
No tomatoes, no lettuce, no onion.
Okay, so I've got bacon, mayo, olive oil blend, oregano, red wine, vinegar, salt.
Pepper?
Not an option.
Okay. And then uncheck the salt, because if they put too much salt on there, that'll ruin the sandwich.
Okay, so uncheck the salt.
There's enough salt in the bacon.
Add special instructions.
Yes. Pickles, jalapenos, and banana peppers on the side, please. Sorry about that, guys. I'm
says the store
ordering a sandwich.
Store shows not to do special requests.
Well, then forget them.
Do you want me to add the... Oh, it took me all the way back. Hang on. Roast beef provolone. No. Is that what I got you? No. The roast beef provolone?
Fuck, no. It was a Club Supreme.
Oh, Club Supreme. Sorry.
No, it's not you. Why has it got to be so damn complicated to order a sandwich?
White bread. So bacon, do you want the banana peppers and just take them off?
No.
No, just don't get them at all?
Just don't get them at all. We have some in the fridge, don't we?
I think so. So bacon, mayo, olive oil, oregano, no onion, no salt.
Does it give you the option for standard or extra? No. Nah, don't even worry about it. Just...
I can do extra bacon, extra cheese, extra meat.
Extra cheese. Extra cheese, extra meat.
Want extra meat?
Yeah. These fast food workers, that'll include people making sandwiches, they just got a wage increase to $20 an hour.
Okay, so.
But special requests are too much for them to deal with.
A giant on white
Son
bread.
of a bitch.
On white bread, extra cheese, extra meat, bacon, mayo, olive oil, red wine vinegar.
Sounds good to me.
Nothing else, right?
Yeah, salt and vinegar chips.
That's all. Well, we still have chips left.
Oh, we got harvest chips.
Mm-hmm.
All right, good.
So, place my order.
Place your order. What are you getting?
Are they Italian like I always get?
Did you order it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
An original and a Club Supreme.
Oh shit, boys! Our intake manifold is loose. Looky there. Yes. Now we have a little sensor dealy here connected that we're going to have to disconnect. And since I don't have my trusty Lyle electrical disconnect pliers on me, this is probably going to be a nightmare, but let's see if I can get in there and push that button.
Sorry, Lloyd. Hey, girls, I'll feed you in a second. I know you're starving. I'm sorry, David.
There's our pair of pliers in here. Ooh, rusty. Difference between a Quinn plier and a channel lock plier. Channel lock plier is rusty, but still functional. Quinn plier is dumpster right. Sorry, guys. I think I did a video comparing how different pliers held up over a year or so. And while the Quinns were a great buy for $10, and I used crap out of them, I recommend them. They are not what I would consider to be your lifelong pliers. You know, you want to get into a pair of channel locks. Even some of the new Craftsman stuff coming out at Lowe's. Husky pliers are very good. Harbor Freight doesn't make much that's going to stay with you forever. I mean, some of their Icon stuff is pretty good, I will admit, but it's not great. So let's see what we have to disconnect and move to swing this intake manifold up. Then we can get to the coils and the spark plugs.
Okay. Dinner's cooking.
Thank you, baby.
Yep. All right, let's start making cake.
Cake. Passover cake. So unleavened cake. Matzah cake.
No, it's sponge cake.
Sponge cake.
Yeah, you like my sponge cake.
Yes, I do.
I need some lemons though, because I need lemon juice. I already need lemons. I'll get those later.
There we go. One disconnect. Oh, yeah. That's down in the core support, never to be heard from again. Too bad that's the only tool I need. My arm doesn't fit down there.
Would my arm fit or not?
Nay. Oh, wait a minute. Ah, they've given me access. Straight through the grill. Alright. So, it seems to me if we pull this off the studs, I can even see the injectors. What do we need to do to get this to move over far enough to come off the studs? What's holding us up here?
Alright.
I don't know how I'm doing it, guys, but I'm kicking myself out of my own stream. How crazy is that, right? So, let's see if I can't get this clamp to rotate. There we go. And we will pop this rubber intake boot off. Of course, I don't think that did a damn thing for me. What is preventing me from moving over far enough to pop out of there? This hose. This hose might be in the way. I believe that's a PCV valve. Let's unclampolate him. Got my damn, I've got those wonderful Performance Tool hose pliers that would be perfect for this occasion, but of course they're at work. We'll just have to make do without them. Let's see if I can get this off of here without breaking the nipple. Okay, we're off on that end. That's not good. We came out. Now we don't want to go back in. There we go. Now we're back in. Pardon me, gentlemen and lady, if you're there. I think that hose may be holding us up a bit. I could be wrong, but I don't see anything else on there. That wiring's disconnected. That's got too much slack in it to be a problem. So if we pull everything to this side, we're almost there. Oh, we're off the stud. We are off the studs. So I understand there may be something going from the bottom of the intake to the valve cover. So now is when we should be careful. I don't see what's holding me up here other than, mass airflow sensor maybe? So let's undo him. Is that what that is? Let's see if we can get him out of his bracket. Yep. That loosened him up. Now we just have injector wiring there. I don't see much of anything holding us up here from swinging this thing out of the way. Oh, looky there. All that worry for nothing. She came right out and exposed the engine. Go figure. Well, that's two wins right there. I got food on the way. I got the manifold off. I'll just shoot on over to the bag that I got from the auto parts store. Pardon me one second. I am going to look and see if my long coke and ratchet handles here, because those plugs have been in there for 10 years now. Let's see. We don't have a lot of extensions. I don't feel like moving all this stuff to get into the toolbox. So let's go see if we got a long-handled ratchet. Frosty loves long-handled ratchets. I've got them 8, 10, 12. I've done, a couple dozen of them, but like everything else of use, they're all at work. Well, let's take a look at the old machinist box where the nice stuff goes. I know I had a Koken. I just don't remember what I did with them. But I don't believe I took them to work. Micrometer. Ooh. The Zeal. Finest damn ratchet ever made right there. I'm looking for your big brother. He's gotta be around here somewhere. Me? No. Nope. Nizzle. Huh, that's a good knife. Nope. Alright. We'll go with what we've got. Let's see, that's half-inch drive stuff. That is not going to work. That's all SAE. I think I can get them out. Now, let's look for this box. While we're here, Quick Wrench did me a solid one day to help me find these guys on Amazon. Factory replacement coils. I think they were something like $30 each. Whatever it was, we saved about $90 per unit by buying them on Amazon. Huge shout out to Quick Wrench Dave. No long-handled ratchet. Anyhow. Oh well. I just put a cheater on the little DeWalt ratchet and have at it. Well, kitty feeding time here at the homestead. We got here a boo-boo, a Donsky, a princess. That's a Scar that doesn't live here, and that's the lovely Callie. Oh, there's more, yes. The sweetest and nicest, and also the most violent. They stay in the house. What we got here? James, I hope I'm keeping you entertained. I'm not really doing much here except talking to myself. But if it makes you happy, I'll keep it up until we get some other guys to come on. All right. Lovely. That's our brand, whatever that means. Okay. So, now that our intake manifold is sideways, I'm glad I didn't buy the seals. I have a set at work, and it doesn't look like changing them would do anything for me. I think our best bet here is going to be to leave her alone. You can tell she's a high mileage engine. That's for darn sure. But she just runs so good. Maybe I can prop this phone up in a position where you guys can see. Let's try that. Spark plug socket down. Now it looks like we need 10 millimeter. We'll start with our number 1 coil. 1 bolt. I'm sure there's some way to tell if these things have shit the bed or not. We know that one of them most likely has. So I'm going to push that clip down. And there's our old one. Don't see a lot of oil around the end of the boot. I'm going to assume that's a good thing. If I can ever get this 12 millimeter off of here again, I get my socket back. I will swap it out for the new Apex Duralast 9/16 magnetic socket. Drop him down to hoe. See if the spark plug will back out. Oh yeah. She's been in there for some time, boys. I think once it starts moving, it'll come out. I never, ever, ever. Well, that's not true. If it was something I was throwing away or something I was just busting apart real fast, I might put a 3/8 gun on a set of spark plugs, but only to take them out. I would never install or work on something I cared about. I would never put power tools on the sparkulators. That's just a bad idea. I like to feel what's going on. You kill a spark plug thread, it's over. Especially in your Ford mod motors. Now look at that. That is a plug with 200 and I want to say 220,000 miles on it. That gap is a good 1/4 of an inch. Yeah, well, 3/16. That is a testament to the old NGK plug. She's still a fire, and the mixture don't look that bad. It's got a nice brown color to it. I think this cylinder was running, if you call that running. So now, Frosty didn't cheap out. Frosty used his brain. They had $17 iridium plugs. They had $6 platinum plugs. They had all kinds of different shit. It looks like the factory plug was a platinum. I bit and bought the iridium. What the difference is, I have no idea. But it calls for a $17 iridium plug. I bought the $10 iridium plug. Double iridium. Bosch. And that spark plug gap there is about 45, 50 thousandths. I'd say she's going to pick up a little get up and go. I could be wrong. Is there somebody else watching? Make a comment, buddy. Don't make me go over to YouTube. Yeah, I'll be happy to paste a link for you guys or send a link for you guys. Anyway, we got one out. Let's put one back in. So we got her in the magnetic socket. We're going to slowly lower her down into the hole. Turn it in with our fingers until we know she's engaged the threads. And she's threaded in nicely on her own. Once we do that, normally something like this I'd put a speed handle on and just run it on down. But since the manifold's hanging over the work area, we'll just use a ratchet. Since we're out of extensions, of course, Frosty the tool whore doesn't have the tool. That's kind of embarrassing. But it is what it is. Oh, wait a minute. Let's see. If we were to put this, would this give us enough rise to get up over the valve cover cap? Oh, that thing's tight. Yeah. Oh, yeah, here we go. If we get lucky, we get this thing back together tonight. Maybe I can have my brother take her and get her smogged this week. Get the tags for it. Now, the moment of truth. Do our $38 coils from Amazon, which are Hitachi, which are the actual direct replacement. Do they fit? They look like it. We're about to find out. I have been told some of these things are counterfeited. I don't know. Why the hell would you do that? And how would you know which part number to counterfeit to actually make any money with it? I've never heard of enough of them going bad to really make that lucrative. Okay, so that snapped down. Our clip snapped on. She is a direct fit. Oh, looky there. We had The wifey and I had a little day trip yesterday. My niece is running her car up in Bakersfield this weekend at the ANRA season opener. Little car that used to belong to my brother Patrick. And him and Dad built it. It's a long car, 140-inch wheelbase for an altered anyway. It's a long car, but it's an altered small block Chevrolet powered now. We had a big block in there. We run 860s with it. It's her first season out. She's running 960s. Let me tell you, yesterday she ran a 954 a little too quick, 140 mile an hour, but she cut an 027 reaction. 27 thousandths away from perfect. Then next run, I went up there with them. I watched her cut an 025 reaction and run. We slowed her down a little too much, anticipating real good weather this morning for their first round. We wanted it to run a high 60. Well, I ran a 76, which is okay. We split the difference, come back up on the timing a little bit, left it alone, and I guess today she ran a 966 on a 960 index. Normally that's pretty damn close, but some of these guys have been in that class for a long time, and they've got a lot of data. They've got their combinations dialed in. They can hit a low 60, pretty regular. So still, we didn't do bad. We've got a pretty new combination. We're just collecting some data. She ran her first round 63 to a 66. She was right next to them the whole way down. And she's taking control of that car. She's not scared. She does a good burnout. She doesn't let it get out of control. She shifts when she needs to shift. And what I like about her running slower class for a while, it's going to give her the opportunity to kind of learn where she is on the track. Get a feel for the car. When you start running sevens, it's over so fast. Your learning experiences are usually in the wake of the car getting upset and trying to go sideways. So it takes a little longer to really get a grasp. When you start slow and work your way up, you know every inch of that track. You know where you're shifting. And I think she's going to be a great index racer. She's going to be a great driver, just like her Uncle Mike and her brother Scott and her Uncle Pat. We got this car here in the garage we're putting together for him. Beautiful front engine dragster, Woody Gilmore style, big block Chevrolet injected. He's a very good driver in his own right. We're going to have some fun with that car, and I want to get that car together and get him licensed this season. Well, Dad's 79, and it'll make him very happy to have all of his boys out there at the track. Me and him doing the tuning, two of us doing the driving, and the niece there doing some driving. My nephew Zach, well, he's got on to the fire department, following in his daddy's footsteps. He's a inner city firefighter. We are proud of that boy. I don't know that he wants to drive as much as he wants to tune and support and just come out and have fun and be with the family. And that's really what it's all about. We don't do anything else together. I don't know, drag racing gets in you. I think we found one that wasn't running. The electrode strap is wet. This may be our bad coil here. I'm going to put the spark plug back in that one, just so as to mark it suspect. Don't even seem like it's making contact. Oh yeah, looky there. There's something of a burn mark right there, like she was grounding out against the valve cover sleeve. I think we found our miss. But we'd be fools to stop now, right? Again, Look at the gap on that sumbitch. She has been in there way, way, way too long. Well, I could park the Chevy in the spark plug gap. Then we got a problem. All right. We'll run our plug in there by hand until we know she's threaded into the hole nice. She's dropping down. Engage the threads before we put any type of ratchet handle on there and cinch down on her. We want to know that she's in there. Sharp Equos. What do we got there? I see a TES. Are you testing? What can I do for you there, brother? Am I here by myself? I believe I am. I don't have anybody watching. Maybe it's time to just sign this off because I can talk to myself all by myself. Yeah, let's get the job done. What the hell? Alright, so crush the gasket, back her off a little bit, crush the gasket, seat it. We'll get us another coil. This one flips around the other way. It's just going to sit down there. Well, I'll tell you what, boys and girls, the way this job is going, if it continues to go well, I would not be intimidated by this at all. I'd do these all day. Book probably gives you a whole bunch of labor for them. Of course, I'm not a Nissan guy. I do have kind of an affinity for the 2.5. I mean, this is just a little workhorse of a motor. Always wondered what she'd do with a turbocharger on it. You know, about 6 pounds of boost, maybe a Roots blower, just to tune them up a little bit. I know there was a hybrid version of the SUV that they did that, but it's a very, very uncommon engine, at least here. But I've always thought the way these things run, you know, their timing curves and their fuel curves and whatnot are always they're a little slow. I mean, these are not rocket ships. The V6s they put in these trucks are weapons. But I mean, I got this truck from downtown LA Nissan, and I got it for $21,300 in 2014. I wanted air conditioning and a stereo, wind-up windows, no magic TV in the dashboard. I didn't want a bunch of shit to go wrong. And so far, the only thing that has gone wrong is the heater core and the clutch fan, which I've replaced. And now this coil. It's a fantastic truck. But anyway, the V6 version of this truck, when spec'd out, was almost $37,000. Now, $37,000, I could have a fleet Actually, for less than that, because we were still able to get dualies at the ice company. We were using Ford F-350 Super Duties. Now you can get for 29 or 30, we could get a F-350 single cab dually with a stereo and air conditioning, 6.2 liter V8, 6-speed trans, just about 30 grand. Rubber floor mats and everything, but you put a gooseneck ball in there and a heavy hitch on the rear. It already come with a gigantic hitch. You can tow a race car trailer all day long with that thing. And everybody's Power Stroke this, Duramax that. Ford, when they come out with that 6.2 and replaced the 10 with it, got rid of the V10s, put the 6.2s in. They had a combination. Those 6.2s are fantastic engines, and they're really overlooked. They only made it into the Raptor for a very short time there. They're underappreciated. The heads are amazing. I mean, they're damn near a 400 horse engine. It's under 400 cubic inches, making 385 to 405 horse. Nice flat torque curve, even though it's up a little high. They keep them in the right gear, and those things just pull. You can pull a hell of a trailer. Hey, James, am I keeping you entertained here? I'm just wondering. I'm kind of doing this for your sanity and mine at the time being. Doesn't seem like we got a lot of people watching. But again, Theo is still live, and I don't want to. I don't think I could compete with him for one. I don't want to compete with him. My friends are on his lives where they should be. I just happen to be out here doing this and wanted a little company. Shit. I need Jeff's email. I could email him a link if I had it. Whoa, funky. Yeah, look at the gap on that thing. I could back a trailer in there. Boy, it sure is going to be nice to have this little guy back, let me tell you. And this truck is an absolute treasure trove of small engine parts. I know there's a beautiful set of different wood ice tongs in there. I believe there's a billet rod and piston in there for a 224cc Predator or Wildcat or whatever you're building. Badassery there. And I know there's a couple of cams, at least one cam in there. Some cylinder heads. Treasures. I'm sure there's hundreds of tools that I've got in there that I brought home multiple times thinking I was going to do a video on, and they never wound up making it back. I like to grab stuff from O'Reilly's and AutoZone and just show what a guy could do without stepping on the tool truck sometimes, or what he could build for his home set just at the old auto parts store, because back in the day that was a great place to buy tools. King Auto had some beautiful stuff. Challenger by Proto. Some of the stores carried SK Wayne. SK made great tools. They still do. I mean, but I don't know about their current owner. I mean, I've seen the video. Clay Coon did a nice video where he's talking to the SK guys, and they've made a commitment to keep bringing quality tools. I do use those 6-point wrenches I bought on Fleabay. Kind of reminiscent of the ones I had back in 2000 when I was working for Valley Head Service. Go get another coil. I don't want to jinx this, boys, but we're almost done. Well, let's just take her easy. New coil, number 3. Click. Schlunk. God, that drops in beautiful. Bolt in. Wonder why number 1. Why do they reverse the direction on number 1? I guess just to make it easier to clear the little tower for the oil fill. Damn oil fill cap's always been so damn tight on here. Last one. So if anything's going to go wrong and fuck us, it's going to happen now. James, do you have like foreign material detection in your equipment up there? Little magnets and UV lights and stuff? Remember, that was one of the things they were trying to sell us on in our line, but everything's made out of stainless steel, you know. But they were saying they could get a system that would detect any foreign matter in the ice, any metallic matter with magnets anyway. But the truth of the matter is, I don't think it's metallic material you're so much worried about as it is little tiny organic material that you can't see. We're always pretty good about that. We got our source water tested, and they do a melt test where they'll come in, they'll grab a bag and melt it down and check for signs of life in there, whatnot. Never really had one come back dirty. And when you do, boy, you stop everything and clean, clean, clean. But aside from, say, sharpening blades, I mean, I'm sure you've got a lot of wear parts, bearings, and panels of UHMW and stuff like that you got to stay on top of, rivets, flat edge. You guys use screw conveyors at all? We use a lot of screw conveyors over belt. Pain in the rear. Back spark plug, nice and brown. Nice and worn out, but she was firing. Darkness is starting to roll in. If I get this last one in, I may be able to get the manifold back on before it gets too dark. I mean, we're pretty much feeling for the bolts anyway. I'll tell you something, if I hear this thing run tonight, I will be thrilled, because it's going to be another week before I get to work on it again. I would be absolutely thrilled if I got to start this thing up and see it run tonight. I don't know why I've been putting this off. I think it was just a matter of seeing the guy with the right attitude do it. It's like, Jesus, what's everybody complaining about? It took 20 minutes. And, you know, he was right. It took 20 minutes to get the manifold off. I think it'll go back together even quicker. Of course, this bracket up on top is a little stiff. I'm going to have to maybe go in the garage and put that damn thing in the vise to get the bolt loose so as I can get it back on the bottom of the intake manifold. But once that happens, guys, we're a fat city. I mean, this is going to go, once I get it over the intake studs here, it's going to go back together fast. I'm just going to do the old finger swipe around the runners, make sure there's no big hunks of dirt there that are going to create a leak. I think, like they were saying, changing those seals is going to cause more problems than it's going to fix. So we'll leave the little orange donuts in for now. I have a set at work in my toolbox, so if we end up needing them, we can do it at a later date. I also have another set of some kind of iridium high dollar sparking plugs down there. Speaking of which, let me go get the last coil. Another thing, that guy was right. I needed a flat tip screwdriver, which is questionable. You don't necessarily need that, but I needed a screwdriver, a pair of pliers, or preferably been needle nose, but all I really needed was a 10 millimeter socket, a 12 millimeter socket, a 6-inch extension, and a 3/8 ratchet. And of course, the 9/16 either magnetic or rubber grabberized spark plug socket. But that is all you need to get this job done. Now, in hindsight, had I been at work, I would probably have used a long-handled flex head ratchet, like the old Snap-on 36-tooth spark plug ratchet that I use, or a Cornwell 120-tooth dealie I've been grabbing for all the time. That's a good ratchet. The the old Die Hard ratchet, the flex head that I've been using, I like him. My Carlisle ratchet, which is identical with a locking flex. I've got a snap-on flex head, a snap-on fixed head. I've got so many different long-handled ratchets. I.e. that Koken, Proto. But a long-handled ratchet would have been nice. Then again, all we ended up doing here, it was for that bracket where we needed it, and we just took the 6-inch extension, put a 3/4 deep socket on there, and used it as a little cheater, and boing, popped that little bolt out. Okay, We're going to put our coil bolt back here, and our tune-up is going to be done. Now we just have to get the intake manifold back on. It is getting dark, but that's okay. I might be able to find some light if we need it. You can always back this thing up a little more and use the porch light. Bam, we're done. So let's quickly, and in one shot, try and put this intake manifold back on. So we know this plugs in to the mass airflow. This plugs into the side of the intake, to the air box somewheres. And there's very little else we had to disconnect, just the PCV valve. Everything else is still intact. Oh yeah, there's that little bracket. This little bracket. We may be able to just stuff him back up in there. While we're here, maybe we should try and break that loose a little bit. Make it easy on ourselves. Yeah. Okay, that's good. That loosened up. Okay. Come on, intake manifold. Let's unwedge you from the hood. Sling you back down into position. And see if we can get you over the studs. There's your mold hole. Can it be? Huh. Well, I'll be damned. I think that's it. Well, let's see what you got there. Restart magnets. We have a metal detector now, but yeah, one of the concerns is chipping on blades, and we use a swab test meter that can detect organic. Oh, nice. Very nice. How automated is your system? We are getting dark. Ooh. But I ain't too worried about it because we got most of these bolts out by feeling them out anyway. So let's get our trusty 12mm socket, if we can find it. Yes, our 6-inch extension. These are going to stay paired for a little while. And we'll start with our intake manifold bolts and nuts. Now, our first one that we took out is right here. Where's the stud? Okay, I can feel it. So does that mean we're not all the way in? Or does that mean the bracket needs to slide down? Is there a fuel rail bracket there? Yeah. So here's the hole. Is that the stud? Are we missing? Oh no, we're in there. There we go. I think that's it. Let's just reach down in here and see. Yep. We've got stud. Let's go get some light. Whoa.
Yeah, walk right past it.
I saw a guy walking out the street.
Yeah, it was right here.
Okay. Yep, there's a stud. Let's see. Doesn't look like she's making good contact in there, so. Let's work it back and forth until we get acceptable contact here, both front and rear. And then we can put the bolts back. I think that's it. Just had to push down on her a tad. Oh yeah, she's made it up against the head. Let's give her a shot. Okay. Front nut's on. Let's go to bolt number 2. Feel for him down here along the intake flange. I think that's it. Right by my finger there. So what did we do? We stuck them in there. We felt out. Stuck them in there. We felt out the bolt hole. Right? And then we just came in and Swapped our finger for a fastener. Yep. Yep, she's threading in nice. Pretty much by hand. I'm just going to turn that till it stops. And we know that we're in. We'll give her a little feel. Oh yeah, that's in. The next one, I want to say was up higher. And there's the other lower one. Yeah. Almost there. There we go. Yeah, that's in. Where's our higher one? Is it here? Or is it here? Right here. That's her stud, so it's got to be here. Yeah. Here's the tricky one. Okay, since that's the last one in, we're going to go ahead and tighten him. And that's the one in the center. So let's get him tight. Shit, you won't run. basically your Craftsman Lowe's Craftsman China ratchet now. They work okay, but I had just an issue with ratchets for when you palm them if you barely nick the lever, why they want to bind up or go backward on you. Okay, I don't want to go any tighter than that for fear of breaking the damn plastic manifold. Okay, so that's down to our last manifold nut, which goes on the rear. That'll snap nice into the socket. Let's go ahead and find that hole back there. And that stud anyway. Ah, it's right there. Well, here we go. Basic hand tools. We were able to get this job done. So far, so good. As long as we don't crack the damn plastic intake, tightening it down. It is back on. If I can get that rubberized bracket back in, all the better. I know it's got to be there. I'm sure that, just the vibration of the weight of the manifold, it'll definitely crack. Because I am not a fan of this ratchet, even though it's a nice looking ratchet. It's really strong and it works pretty good. If you just touch that lever while you're palming it, it'll reverse on you. I don't like that. But they can't all be delayed. And this little guy, I must say, got the job done for me today. I was very happy to have it. All right, boys, manifold is back on. just about out of bolts. We would probably start right now if we wanted to. Let's put our PCV hose back on. Well, I guess we didn't need a Nissan tech for that after all. That job was not that big a deal. And I was going to take it to somebody, pay them to do it, thinking I didn't have the time. Well, just to show you. Still a pretty good mechanic somewhere deep down inside. We get tired, we get lazier. We don't want to work on our own shit anymore. I understand that. Have a split PCV hose. Ain't that a bitch? Let's cut some off of there. Split right there. Well, that hose is back on. See if we can push this bracket back in there. And I will turn the key and see what happens. So this obviously goes on the inside of the fuel lines. That little rubber, there's a slot in the rubber and a spot in the bracket for that to go. It pops in there. And then there's a bolt down on the exhaust manifold, or the head. Is it the head? It's right there. Looks like. Where's that bolt hole? Is that the right bolt hole? Is it the wrong bolt hole? Okay, I see. There's another bolt hole in there. So we've got to get this bracket. I got to turn them the other way. Yeah. Get that bracket to go up into that slot. So push that rubber grommet up in there best we can. All the way up there. Yes. We're in. Yeah. If we can just get this bolt to thread in to the head. And there's a bolt hole here for it. We're done. Here we go. I got it, I think. No, that's not it. Wait a minute. There she is. There she is. So other than a little split in the PCV hose, we're 100% victorious here. Get these two tight. Yeah, there's a rubber grommet. Oh yeah, she's tightening down. Yeah, like that. Injector's back on. Let's flip this up so we can get a little more purchase on it. Tighten this a little tighter before we put it to bed. Strip, aren't you? Nope, we got you. That's good. Now, that's it. I believe that's it. Hell of a job. once over with the old flashlight. Yeah. Well, we need that little ratchet. We got these two 10s to put back in. The air cleaner silencer. Let's put the air box back together, which is always a nightmare in this truck for some reason. Never did understand why it was always so difficult to get this air box to lock in. Let's do it with a flashlight. Seems like it's just a matter of dropping it down there and pulling it up and swinging the clips on. So heater hoses are kind of in the way, yeah, but I mean, how much difference should that make? So let's drop her down and find our tabs. Let's see, we got 5 tabs. So let's, as gently as we can, get that in there. Got 1 through 5 to engage. 5's not engaging. Somewhere over here in the back. There we go. Looky there. She's on. That wasn't so bad. Now the silencer. Intake muffler. Complete with paper horsehair weirdo hose. That's just a squeeze on there. Works its way on. And this one goes on there and swivels. And then we get our bracketry here and here. No extra bolts. No extra pieces. We got all 4 coils and all 4 plugs in. We didn't tear up the hood insulation too bad. I think we're doing all right, but we're not really going to know until we stab that key in the ignition and kick it over. Let's see if we still got a check engine light. A bunch of new problems. I'm interested. I miss my little truck. I mean, Frosty loves this truck. Don't get me wrong, Chevy's a great car and I'm glad to have it. But I'd like to tune that thing up as a shrine to Daddy. I want to get her painted. I want to get her running nice. Maybe put some wheels on it. Let's turbocharge the fucker. What the hell? But for now, we got to get body work done. So let's see. Those 2 hoses snap into that dammit bracket that we just put on. Let's get those in. I believe we got a lower. Yep, got an upper. And they are in. Can't believe this thing kicked over and started this morning. All right. Seems as though I'm still talking to myself. That's okay. If anybody gets anything from this video, it's that if you're not afraid of it, you just go at it one step at a time. There's very little you can't do under a hood. Let's see if we can get her fired up. Oh, little guy. Where's my key? There she goes. No more mess. And she got half a tank of gas in it. Ooh. I'm tempted to drive this bitch tomorrow. Well, there you have it, guys. Spark plugs on a Nissan Frontier 4-cylinder with manifold removal. Took a couple hours, but wasn't bad. We weren't rushing. We took our time. We used whatever tools we had on hand, and $50 for the plugs. 160 for the coils. $210. It'll cost you. I'd say it'd cost you a bit more if you took it in. And we stayed as close to factory as we could on the parts. Seems to run good. I still have a check engine, but I think if we drive it a little bit, that'll go out. I'll be able to clear it, and we'll take this thing and get her smogged. Thanks for watching. Anybody that did and anybody that does, y'all have a good night.